Adebayo. We off the record.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes.
You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo. And the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy, Scotty B. What up?
What's up, man? How you doing, man? How's everything been going?
Everything's been everything, man. Can't complain too much, man. It's Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
Boy, Scotty B, man.
Now, we ain't been around for a minute. It's not because we didn't want to be. And even though we ain't been around, we ain't going to be here all damn day because we got stuff to do today. So we're going to try and ain't going to rush through things, but we do have some things we wanted to talk about in regards to the playoffs, in regards to some of the draft stuff coming up, Lamar Jackson, Odell, things of that. So we felt like Saturday morning, you got your little brunch, the Royals, we got a game today. We got a team from Fayetteville coming to check us out. We'll get them something to go home to enjoy, or they probably won't enjoy what's gonna happen to them. So nonetheless, we're here. It's Off the Record, and what's good, man?
Nothing, man. Like you said, man, we haven't been here because I know you're tied up with football. I'm tied up with Little League baseball and work and just everything. But I've been keeping my eye on this NBA playoffs, man. So we got to get into it, man. What are your thoughts so far on the playoffs? I'll tell you, right now the playoffs have been going how I expect them to go. I haven't really been too surprised. I think this round, let's start with the 76ers Nets, right?
For what?
Exactly. So
I don't even want to talk. I mean, I don't think it's going to be.
Yeah, we'll move to a different series, but did we really?
Did I just say I don't think? I think it's going to be a sweep.
Right. Well, it may not be a sweep just because Joel Embiid is projected not to play in Game 4.
So,
yeah, you're right.
I got the Nets winning. It's going to be a tough game, but I mean, they should be more than equipped to win this game without Joel Embiid. They got Tobias Harris, Harden, Maxey, all those other pieces that they have on that team. They should be fine. They should have more than enough to win that game. Is that tonight? Is that today? I mean,
yeah, it's today. So Joel Embiid, I must say, he's got to be the MVP this year.
Absolutely.
He's got to be the MVP. He's made everybody on his team's job so much easier. He's getting people open just off of nobody can stop him down low. Like there's not a big in the NBA that can stop him when he's on. And I mean, he's showing with Brooklyn and to be fair to Brooklyn, they don't really have the assets of players to really stop him. But there is absolutely nothing they can do with him. He is an absolute problem and is really getting everybody else just open looks. The offense is able to flow a lot smoother with him out there. I mean, he really is, to me, the MVP this year.
Yeah, nah. I mean, if I had a vote, he would definitely get he would definitely be our MVP. Well, my MVP. He's just been the best player this season. So but do you have them winning today?
Yeah, I think you've convinced me that they've got enough to win. I was going to say, Embiid takes the night off. Maybe Brooklyn saves a little face and wins the game just to make it, that they didn't get swept. But that might be just unrealistic.
It's just pointless. That series is over. So before we move on, so last week there was a whole big thing with Draymond and Sabonis, right? The whole he A-Town stomped on his chest. So he got suspended for a game. I mean, and I think a blind man could see that the Warriors was going to win that game. Now, the other night, Embiid had a similar situation, but he didn't get suspended. What do you think? Do you think now that there's a unfair bias against Draymond Green?
So, all right. So, on go back a little bit, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think the NBA is moving in the wrong direction. And what I mean by that is they're not getting the instigator. They're getting the aggressor in all these situations. Like in every single situation with whether it be James Harden be ejected, whether it be Embiid retaliating, whether it be Draymond Green stomping on Sabonis's chest because he had his foot, there seems to not have been any punishment for the agitator or the instigator in these situations. I will go back to what you're saying in your initial question. Yeah, it is a bias against Draymond Green. But Draymond Green has put himself in that situation. Same with Dennis Rodman when he was playing. I mean, like it's certain players that you don't assume positive intent when you're dealing with those players. Like you're just assuming the worst, and it's because you've assumed positive intent for so long that now their history shows that they're doing exactly what they've done before. So I don't disagree with it, but at the same time, I do think the NBA's got to figure out how to address the instigator and not just the aggressor.
What would you have done in that situation?
Which one? The Draymond one?
Draymond, yeah.
The Draymond one, I think him being ejected was enough of a punishment.
So even though he stepped on Sabonis like Mario with the goobers, that's
so me and you had talked off air. Sabonis was doing a lot of acting, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's a lot on that. I'm impressed that he was able to even finish that game, considering he had to have x-rays and all this other stuff. I mean, that guy deserves a gold medal for that.
I agree.
Yeah.
So all right, so let's stay in that that series, Golden State and Sacramento. What's your thoughts?
I mean, we got a series. Sacramento has been consistent all year. They haven't been scared of anybody. They have brought it to whatever opponent that they have. I think the Warriors, they got smacked first, and they definitely responded in Game 3. They're back home. Really, I don't want to overreact, but they took care of home court. You know what I mean? Now the Warriors are home court. Now I think the suspension of Draymond Green may have rallied that team a little bit more. The Kings did not respond well to the punches that the Warriors threw the other night. I mean, the Warriors came out swinging. The Kings were there, and they didn't respond to that adversity. So I am glad to see the Kings be successful, but that experience of having veterans on that Golden State Warrior team, I just can't go against them.
Nah, I agree. So this is honestly, this is like my favorite series of the playoffs so far, right? Love seeing the crowd in Sacramento. I think that that they've been waiting and waiting. But like you said, I think the experience of Golden State it might be too much, right? Now I'll say this: if Sacramento did have the best road record in the West, and I don't know how much that means because the West wasn't that great this year, but Game 4 is going to tell you how this series is going to go. If it goes back to Sacramento 2-2, it's not looking good for Sacramento because Golden State just has to steal one game in Sacramento, whether it's 5 or 7. If they go up 3-1, head back to Sacramento, I think the series is over. I think and I think that it may be over in 5 because I don't know if now people say Golden State had the opportunity to win Game 2, but I mean those young Bulls they gonna keep coming after you. Malik Monk, De'Aaron Fox, Harrison Barnes has a lot to prove in this series, mainly because that's his old team.
They've assembled a really good team that fits, and their team is gelling at the right time. And I don't mean so much the playoffs, like they've gelled all year. Like they have the right coach. They're efficient on offense. They're efficient on defense. And like you said, they've got that perfect mix of veterans and young guys to where they're going to keep coming. They're not scared. It's pause. So I got to bring this up too, right? So the other day you posted something, and it was Malik Monk and De'Aaron Fox, and they were talking during the press conference. And it was probably one of the most plausible moments that I've ever seen in my life. And he said, I know what turns you on. And
I know what to say to turn them on.
Yeah, I know what to say to turn them on. And the Aaron Fox looked like, whoa. Whoa.
Now, it's funny because eventually guys got to grow up, but for what? I think that they have such a good relationship that they could do things like that. So
hey, what's up, Mario? My snowfall guy.
Oh gosh, everybody's so hurt from Snowfall, and I'm not even gonna because I want people to keep on watching. But I ain't seen Snowfall since season 1, so eventually I'll be.
He did my man Franklin like Lamar Odom, man. It was ugly. It was ugly. So sorry, Lamar. That was a stray. You shouldn't have called.
Yeah, but in regards to the series, I think that the Warriors, for the sake of my parlay, I think that the Warriors are gonna win this round. So Lakers, right?
Now hold on. Let's go to another series we can kind of skip over really fast. Denver and Minnesota.
Yo, why you? Yo, we've been gone for a minute. Yo, we don't have to do this to the people. No one cares. No one. You care about that series?
No, but I will say this: the one thing that series has taught me is Denver is loaded. between Michael Porter Jr., Aaron Gordon, Jamal Murray, and Jokic. That it is their team is unreal with the depth.
I mean, shit,
they
you
have.
forgot about Jeff Green.
Jeff Green. I mean, they've got a solid 10 guys. That I mean, in the West. So I've never been big on Denver, right? But watching them the other day and watching like the development of Michael Porter, it's scary. And I see why the Joker has so many assists, because he's got so many pieces that if you try to double team him, he's got a plethora of talent that's just around him. So that's the one thing I've taken from the series is, Minnesota, Anthony Edwards is a dog that's going to be around for a long time. It just ain't his time now. But yeah, look out for Denver in the West just with all those weapons. And it's not going to be easy facing them.
All right, so I'll let you choose because you just I don't even know why even like that's a sweep.
Oh, easy. It is a sweep. Like you said, why are we doing this to the people? But I just had to say the games I have caught of them, just watching Michael Porter Jr. and just like his development and how he fits into like the team. And that's a different thing with Denver is they've always had like a lot of talent, but it always felt like the pieces didn't quite necessarily fit, but they're starting to come into their role. And they're going to be a tough team to beat out West.
Okay. So can we go to the Lakers now? Or
yeah, we can go to the Lakers.
All right. Who you got winning that series?
Oh, Lakers, easy. I think Dylan Brooks has talked to himself. I like what he's doing. Dylan the villain. That's what they're calling him. But I wouldn't dare talk mess to arguably top three, and we're not going to have that discussion. Best player of all time. Top two. Yeah, top two. Michael Jordan, LeBron, who cares? But I wouldn't talk to LeBron like that, man. Very, very disrespectful. Very, very, very disrespectful. And I get it, right? Because I have a personality that's similar to Dylan, to where maybe I would have been that guy talking to mess, but I wouldn't have invited LeBron James to score 40 points on me. Like it's going to be ugly for him.
So here's the thing: we know LeBron can score 40 on him if he wants to, but he's not going to score 40 on him. Who does Dylan Brooks think he's talking to, yo? So here's my thing, right? He's a career 14-point scorer, and matter of fact, we talked to the guys from our last guest. Come on, help me out.
Statistics. What is it?
Mike and all of them, and Coach. So I can't remember which one of them liked Dylan Brooks. And
Statman liked Dylan Brooks.
And I'm like, man, these dudes are I mean, well, Dylan Brooks mainly, but the Memphis Grizzlies as a whole, I'm all for the underdog, and I'm all for talking your trash and talking your smack, but I'm also all for winning before you do that, right? Because they haven't won anything. They haven't really what have they done?
Oh, absolutely nothing. But that's why they don't have anything to lose, right? You haven't done anything.
Oh, they got a lot to lose.
Oh, no, they could lose the series, but think about it, right? If they lose this series, nobody is really going to care. Dylan Brooks, whether or not he scores 7 points or he scores 14 points, nobody cares. Whether or not LeBron James scores 30 points on him or 40 points on him, nobody is going to care because Dylan Brooks is that irrelevant, right? So when you're that irrelevant, what do you have to lose? So that's what I like. What he's doing is, regardless if LeBron comes and drops 50 points on him, nobody is going to care. Like, it'll be a fanfare for LeBron. We'll talk about how great he is, but nobody is going to give a crap if Dylan Brooks is the one that he drops that 50 points on. Now, to your point, it's not smart, right? Because Anthony Davis is where the ball needs to go. And as long as they continue to exploit that weakness on the Grizzlies, that's what's going to propel the Lakers to win. So, yeah, it's a little bit of a bait thing where he's trying to get LeBron to maybe be the focal point and take away from Anthony Davis. LeBron's too smart for that. And, I mean, this is what it is.
So, now, I will disagree, because if LeBron scores 50 and they win by 20, people going to care, because Dylan Brooks is going to get smoked through social media. Dylan Brooks is going to so I was watching Nick Wright the other day, and he said something. I was just talking about this last night about, LeBron is used to Dylan Brooks or guys like Dylan Brooks, right? You could go back as far as Deshaun Stevenson, right? Deshaun Stevenson was with the Wizards, and he wanted to talk trash. I think LeBron was in like year 5. Matter of fact, I think LeBron went to the finals that year. So it got so bad where Jay-Z did this song, and they played it, and they were playing it in DC. Matter of fact, we were there. we were there.
Yeah. So I was going to remind you, I was in the club that night when all the Wizards
I remember.
And Damon Jones and everybody went to the stage, and I mean, they literally played the diss track about Deshaun Stevenson because it was a big deal to kind of back it up a little bit. Deshaun Stevenson. So LeBron basically told the press that him and Deshaun Stevenson, it was like comparing Jay-Z to Soulja Boy. He called Deshaun Stevenson Soulja Boy, right? So the next game, Deshaun Stevenson paid for Soulja Boy to sit courtside and heckle LeBron or whatnot. So then that's when Jay-Z made the diss, and for whatever reason, they played that joint and love for like 2 hours, and all the Cavs was on, and I remember Caron Butler being in there. Deshaun wasn't in there.
He was not there. No.
Yeah.
And so just to like fast forward, so then you got somebody like, you had Deshaun Stevenson, then you have Lance Stevenson. Lance Stevenson was a bugaboo to LeBron. But then you had somebody like a Draymond Green, who, again, you got, I guess he's the original Dylan Brooks. And then you have somebody like Dylan Brooks. So LeBron has been used to these guys. The difference between like a Draymond and a Lance Stevenson compared to Dylan Brooks is that these guys could ball, right? And again, I'm not saying Dylan Brooks is a scrub, but these guys could ball. Draymond got rings. Well, Draymond don't like Dylan Brooks either, but whatever. That's a whole nother subject.
But it's the same thing with Kobe and Matt Barnes and Kobe and Ron Artest. And what ends up always happening with these guys, they end up playing with them a couple of years later because the greats end up respecting them. Like, you know what? This guy is built different. I want this guy on my team. This guy can't. Now they bust their ass, pause, on the court. You know what I mean? But then it's a mutual respect. They're like, you know what? I need this guy to bring this toughness on my team.
And if I'm not, and Lance Stevenson played with LeBron. So
yeah, Lance Stevenson, J.R. Smith. I don't recall Deshaun Stevenson ever playing with him. But if you go back and
he beat LeBron in the finals.
Oh yeah, when they were in Dallas. But if you listen to Deshaun Stevenson and you listen to all those guys, they'll talk about how great LeBron was. You know what I mean? Right. Like they, they say, oh yeah, we were talking, but yeah, he did light me up, or they'll give him this respect. Dylan Brooks.
Yeah. So you got Lakers winning it in what?
I think that series goes 6.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go 7. But I honestly want the Lakers to win. Like a lot. I feel like the Grizzlies need some humble pie. And it's been honestly, it ain't been looking good for them since Josh said he ain't got to worry about anything in the West. And then everybody made their trades, and then it's like, uh-oh. So it's gonna look crazy if they get booted in the first round. So real quick, let's because I know we about to get out of here in a little bit. We'll still be back on Wednesday, maybe even Tuesday, depending on how we feel. But nonetheless, the NFL. We got 2 things to talk about, and then we get up out of here. NFL, the draft is in 5 days, right? Is there any doubt in your mind that Bryce Young will go number 1?
Yeah, I think that I've been on the record for saying I think C.J. Stroud should go number 1.
Wow. But will that happen?
No. But I think it should. I mean, I think this guy is going to be good. And I'm a Michigan fan. I despise any player that plays at Ohio State. Why they play at Ohio State? But it's a difference between recognizing like talent. This guy CJ Stroud has a upside to him, and that's all I really say about that is, I like Bryce, right? He's not. I would go C.J. Stroud.
I definitely go Bryce Young over C.J. Stroud. My personal opinion, but I think that this draft is going to be. I think it's going to be pretty good. That 27th, that first round. I think there are going to be some surprises, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's some surprises that involve Lamar Jackson and Aaron Rodgers. I think that there's going to be something where people are going to be like, "Oh, okay," and shake some things up.
Yeah, I'll say this about the draft, right? I think it's going to be a good draft, but it's really hard to get into a draft when your team doesn't have a first round draft pick. So it's one of those things to where like, you got, all right, cool. I'm good with the Christian McCaffrey trade. It's great in the moment, but then draft time comes and you like, damn, yo.
It's like doing the live fantasy draft.
Yeah,
but you never know. They could be part of the people that shake things up. And
I don't want them to shake things up. The only thing I'll say this, right? If they want to shake things up to get Lamar Jackson, only thing that's the only thing I'll get behind that. But if they're not going to give up and mortgage the whole future to get Lamar Jackson, then stay the course. We don't have a first round pick this year, and just go. Just go with it. I mean, because we got 3 third rounders, so just
yeah.
Roll
so I'm glad Abdul brought this up, man. Because if we did a winner of the week, I would make him winner. And I got a damn Kentucky hat on, but this man puts mayonnaise in his goddamn coffee. I think that might be the most gross thing I've ever seen or heard in my life, and he is the winner of the week. Hope he gets drafted, but his draft stock should fall just because he puts freaking mayonnaise in his damn coffee. And, oh my God.
You know what though? That's a red flag, right? You know what I mean? Right now, it's a red flag of being a weirdo. And being a weirdo can help you lose a locker room, and it can contribute down the road to where you like, you know what? The signs are there. Puts mayonnaise in his coffee.
Ugh. All right. So before we get out of here, because we're gonna talk more draft and we're gonna get in depth next week before the draft, but it's a fight tonight.
Ooh.
Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Tank Davis. Who you got? What round? And what are your expectations?
I think it's going to be a good fight. I think it's going to be the fight that brings boxing back. I think me and you talked about this. It's been a long time since I've heard people saying, "Where are you watching the fight at? What are you doing tonight?"
Yeah.
You know, and you brought up some points about like COVID, right? So COVID kind of like killed that to where, you know, before it's fight party, you know what I mean? Like, yo, I'm coming over and bringing a case of Coronas, whatever, right? But a bottle. This is the first time probably in, I say, 3 years that it's like, yeah, what are you doing? I think that I like what Garcia did. I like how he hyped this. I like how he made Tank fight him. I like how he realized that the critique was his opponents, and he sought out the best opponent that he could find. I think he sees something in Tank's game. I don't know what it is, but he sees something that he thinks he can compete. However, I got Tank Davis. And I think this is going to go the distance. I think it will go the distance, but because it's good for boxing, right? You know, we don't want to knock out or anything. They want to see, because you want a second fight and you want a third fight, and this fight has the makings of getting everybody amped up to where if it goes the distance, it's a split decision or something like that. Then for round 2 and round 3 of the fight. So yeah, but I think Tank Davis pulls this out.
All right. So I agree. I got Tank winning the fight. Now I will disagree. I do want to see a knockout, not like no first, second, third, fourth round knockout. I want to see a boxing match and maybe something in the later rounds, like a 8th, 9th, 10th round knockout. I think that would, because that's enough to where you like, I think we could get part 2, or you go the distance and you win on a score sheet, and then you get your part 2. But I do think that we need a part 2 before we even get part 1. There's one of those that they signed on for. They got approved for a second season, and the first season they ain't even done yet. So
well, you might get your knockout though. I mean, if you look at Garcia, speed and power, left hook, it's as good as you can see. I think he's going to try to use his length, to keep his distance, and I think that he thinks that if he lands that left hook, it's lights out. But I think Tank Davis will be ready for it, and he can counter, and like you said, it could be lights out the other way. So you may get it. You may get it, the knockout that you're seeking.
We gonna see, man. We gonna see. But all right, man. We got like a busy day. So your son got his baseball game today. Tell Cam I say he got hit 2 home runs. I compensate for home runs.
Yeah. I'll tell you that's not gonna happen. But I love my son to death, but he's not hitting 2 home runs. Let alone anybody.
Today is the day. But
let alone anybody on the team. They're not hitting any home runs. I'll be happy if we can get out. We can get out with the win. The team that we're playing is significantly better, so we'll see, man. Just don't embarrass us. Just don't.
So yeah, and then of course, like I said earlier, the Virginia Royals. We have our game today against the Fayetteville Commandos. They're 5-0. We're 4-1. This game is going. This is what some may call like a revenge game. They beat us last year, but it was a lot of politics and everything in regards to that game. It wasn't supposed to count. It was, we both played 2 games in a day. We did it for the money, but after the season, when we won a championship, they wanted to claim that no one said anything about the game the whole season. And then all of a sudden we won a championship. Now everybody's bringing up that the Commandos played the – it was like, wait, what? And so it was a little bit of weirdo behavior. And so I one thing I don't like is disrespect. Don't disrespect off the record. Don't disrespect the Royals. Don't disrespect me or anybody that's around me. Because if you do, I'm gonna attack, and I don't care. So I felt disrespected. And ultimately the team goes as I go, and they understand how I feel about this team. Now, again, I respect every opponent that we go against. It's not going to be a point where I'm disrespecting the team or the game. With that being said, you better wear your hard hat. Damn. You better just come play football.
Whoa. Yeah, coach.
So anyway, but nah, it's gonna we're for people that can't make it to the game, we are gonna stream the game. But this is one of those you want to pay. It's gonna be worth the price of admission. They got a good offense, we got a good defense. Actually, we got a great defense, but I think that guys, they meaning the team coming from North Carolina, better not come half stepping. When's the last time you heard somebody say half stepping? But nonetheless, we'll make it happen, and we'll see what's good. But you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Nah, man. Just good luck today, and keep me posted, and happy 4th birthday to Xavier. So it's going to be tomorrow. 5th. Yeah. Oh, wow. I told my wife 4 today. And she looked at me kind of funny, like, I don't sound right. But nah, she did. She looked at me like, are you sure? And you're right. The math isn't mathing out, because if my daughter is 3, that would make him 3 now. And it just ain't mathing out. So okay,
so it happens. It happens, man. There's a lot going on. It's a lot going on in everywhere. So, but he's gonna be 5. Xavier is gonna. He is. Whew. So another thing. So last year, this is crazy. Last year, Janiyah announced what school she was going to attend on Off the Record. This year, got another kid going to college. She's a brainiac. So Brianna is going to be announcing, what school she's going to be going to. So stay tuned for that. Not sure if it's this week coming up or next week. But nonetheless, she's gonna make it happen. So, we good here. All right, man. So, I guess we good. This is Off the Record. I'm Anthony Adebayo.
What's Scotty B?
All right, we'll be back next week, y'all. Peace.
Peace.
Anthony Adebayo.
With you there, but if you're a coach, do you take that chance?
Yes. You can reach us at the Off the Record Show at gmail.com. Anthony Adebayo and the most accurate sports coverage. Scotty B's Fantasy 5.
We're different from any other sport.
His sophomore year. Comes back and says, you know what?
And your boy Scotty B.